So right now we're just going to give a brief education on standing posture alignment. And this is most easily understood if you approach it looking from the side. There are 5 landmarks on the human body that should be lined up in a vertical line. And for a lot of people, these 5 points are kind of more in a zigzag type shape. For ideal alignment, you want to stack up so that's a straight line, so that when gravity is working against your body, it's creating less stress on the joints and soft tissue if it is stacked up vertical versus that zigzag sort of pattern. So if we look at Ashley, she's demonstrating how a lot of people stand. And so if we find those 5 points, you can see what I'm talking about. We find the ear, the center of the shoulder, this outside hip bone, center of the knee, and this prominent ankle bone. Those 5 points should be stacked up in a vertical line. And the way she is right now, you can see that her hips are in front of that ankle bone. Her knees are bent and off of that vertical alignment. Shoulders are behind hips and ears are in front of shoulders. So now we want to go through the steps and correct that posture into a more optimal standing alignment. So I'm going to ask Ashley to shift the weight of her hips back. And that will place hips over that prominent ankle bone there. And with that shift, also her knees straightened up. So now she's standing with straight legs, and that center of the knee joint is more in line with that vertical line. The last thing to correct then is this upper half. And you can see she shifted the hips back, but if we find that shoulder joint and we drop a plumb line down, her shoulders are still well behind that hip joint, which can cause a lot of compression in the low back. So I'm going to ask Ashley to settle her ribs down and relax that so she doesn't have to stand with her shoulders propped up with that sort of stress. She can just relax her ribs down and in, and then that centers shoulders over hips. We're getting that straight line. Last thing is where her ears are, and you just want to ramp your head back a little bit, Ashley, just to center ears more over shoulders to avoid that forward head position, which can cause a lot of compression in the cervical spine.